I am being guided to open up about something that's been a little difficult for me to talk about because it's a recent wound and trauma, and it's really compiled into like a whole traumatic episode in my life where there was just trauma back to back to back to back, and it is literally mind-blowing and insane to realize the forces that have been against me in my life. Since my spiritual awakening, after going through a difficult life of struggle, of pain, feeling too sensitive for this world, feeling like I was too much, like I needed to lower myself or alter myself to bring my frequency down so that I could be treated like a normal person. After my awakening, my Kundalini activation, finding God, and remembering my soul mission on this planet, everything that God is doing for me and showing me who I am and why I had to go through so much darkness, everything came to light. And it was a new chapter for me. It was a new lease on life. I knew that I had to let my old life go. I had to literally take the fall to fly. And I did. I took the plunge. I dove straight into God's arms. I gave everything I owned to the women's homeless shelter. I packed my backpack with my essentials, with my tent, my sleeping bag, and some clothes. And I left my old life behind, my old relationship, and I gave my life to God. From there, I was praying to find my soul family community. My angels showed up in divine timing. I realized that I was not alone at all in what I had been going through, and that God was with me every step on the way. So many miracles had been opening up from the universe because I said yes. When God told me to trust and to take that leap, I did. And I was so happy and blessed for it. Though I did not want to be homeless, I still trusted and had the courage to face my worst fear head on. Though I was still looking for a home, and I had a calling to return to the Garden of Eden, to align my mission with other chosen ones, and to work together to create new earth, to grow our gardens, to heal, and to light up the world. I was working some social media. I was on Twitter, and I was, really trying to find my people to do this with. And a woman reached out to me, and it seemed like it was too good to be true. She had some land out in Oklahoma and a cabin that I could stay in, and It seemed like she was into holistic health and healing and all the and gardening and all the things that I had been wanting to do. So I bought a plane ticket, and I had little money, but I was investing in this and investing in her. And I went out there. Upon meeting her, something fell off from the get-go. But nonetheless, what was I going to do about it? You know, she looked really good as far as, you know, on the surface. So I just kind of wrote it off as in, well, I think she may have some healing to do. Nobody's perfect. God obviously has me here for a reason. So maybe I can help her to do that healing, and we can help each other. As time went on, I really gave her love and support. I realized that, you know, she had problems. She had some darkness in her. And I was still a friend and an angel to her nonetheless. I was a little careful about things because she had some drama in her life and in her marriage, and I didn't want to be roped into that. So I spent a lot of time in solitude. I spent a lot of time talking to God and going for hikes and being with nature and working on my own healing, working on my own mission internally. And, you know, she had kids and a husband, and, you know, her mother came out to stay for a while, and I was pretty much ignored. They had left me out there through the freeze in a really, really cold winter. I had a wood burning stove, but a cabin that was not insulated. So my firewood would just burn, and, you know, it would be cold. And there was really no keeping up with it. So I prayed a lot through that. All my food froze, the well froze. I had no water, no food, except for, you know, the food that doesn't freeze. And, you know, there were a lot of things that just were hard about this situation. I still am an optimist, and I still tried to make it work. I prayed to God to take winter away, and God did. And that was pretty amazing. Then her homeless mother, her birth mother, who put her up for adoption, needed a place to stay, and she came out, and she came into my cabin smoking cigarettes and told me that she was staying in there with me. And I was like, well, no, there's plenty of cabins on this property. I don't think that would be a good idea, especially since you smoke, you cuss, your energy is bad, and I don't know you, and I've got all my stuff here. I wasn't agreeing to that. So I talked to my so-called soul sister, and she did not have my back. So I agreed to just take my stuff and go to the other cabin, because I didn't want to deal with this. This woman was crazy. She was violent. She was scary, and she was completely unhinged. And I did not feel safe. So I went to go stay in the other cabin, and through that time I had broken my cell phone, and I had to get it replaced. But I was trying to find another place to go. You know, I was really kind of over it at that point. And I realized that she was no friend of mine, and she was not that good of a person either. She was not even a good mother, and there were a lot of red flags all over the whole thing, and I felt that she was a very dark person, very evil, very fake. And but I was still there, and I was still, you know, making the best of the situation. I would do chores on the land. I would help out and do the things that, you know, would help out on the land. You know, I was doing compost and picking up trash and toys and stuff. And one day I went to take a shower down at the fifth wheel, which was the only shower that worked on the land at that point. And as I was walking back, the unhinged mother came up to me and said that I was talking shit about her to her grandson. And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about, but you need to get out of my face. I'm going this way, and I don't want to be in your energy. Then she proceeds to take out her cell phone, and she bludgeons me in the face repeatedly with this cell phone, over and over and over. And there were marks. Of course, I had a black eye, and bruising all in my hair as well. The so-called soul sister came back to my cabin, and I told her, she had witnessed the attack, by the way, and was asking me where I was going to go. And I said, well, I've been trying to figure that out. I had no support from her, no, nothing, no warmth in her heart at all for any of this that they had put me through. Just cold, evil, and So I'm on the phone talking to friends of mine. She told me not to post on social media about it, but I mean, considering my situation and the fact that I had nowhere to go, I was absolutely going to post on social media and tell people of the situation because I needed safety. I am an awakened woman of God, and I have a sacred mission on this earth, and I need to be safe. My protection is a priority to this world. Homeless shelters in Oklahoma, it was like, give me a break. The support isn't there. The police weren't much help either. So, considering I had very few friends out there or anything, I was in a bad situation. A woman that I had met in Oklahoma reached out to me, and she seemed really apologetic and horrified that I was in that situation and that woman did that to me. And she was a homesteader and, liked to garden, and, that's what I wanted to do anyway. So I figured, okay, this is nice. At least I can stay here for a little while and garden and, learn some stuff from this woman and, find a place to go. So I'm not living in fight or flight or survival mode, and I'm not in a homeless shelter. And the woman was not exactly healthy either. She had demons. She gossiped. She talked about people. She was a monitoring spirit. She stalked people she didn't like online. She chain smoked cigarettes. And she refused to heal. Nonetheless, I'm there, and I'm a friend to her. I give her love, and I helped her on her land. I helped her with a bunch of things. I even helped out buying food and things like that. And which I don't mind. I'm genuinely a giving person, and I even did supplements with her and prayers with her, and shared my gifts as a healer with her. And she had become increasingly parasitic on my energies as well. And she was crossing my boundaries. Even when I clearly stated boundaries, she would cross them. So I felt like, okay, I'm going to find my next place to go. One morning I wake up and she's at my door, and they break it open with, it's her and two other women, and they get on top of me in bed and start holding me down and telling me that I'm moving out today. And I'm like, okay, what happened? Why are you doing this? And she says it's because I had a video of me dancing on Twitter in my bathing suit, which didn't really concern her at all. But, jealousy is a demon. And, I like to dance. Since I found God, I dance a lot because it connects me to my ancestors. It's freedom from the matrix. And it's rebellion against the devil is to be happy, to work your energy, to be in your divine flow. But I don't have to defend that. I'm just stating. It was evil what they did. And she and the other women called me nasty things. And they told me that I was not deserving of God's love. And they acted like I was some kind of Jezebel. And it was very hurtful. It was very hurtful because I had been so kind and open and loving. And she made it her mission to tell everybody lies about me, to stalk my social media and call the woman that I was going to stay with and talk all this nonsense about me before I even got to meet her. And her attacks on my life were evil. And that's not how you treat a friend, an angel of God, or anything. And I realized right away that wherever I was going, a homeless shelter or anything, it was better than being with her. So I gave my life to God. And I ended up going through a series of attacks from people with demonic attachments or soulless entities. No, I have gone from battle to battle to battle. And every time God helps me heal more and more, and I'm rising internally and remembering my soul as I'm going through this heartbreak. That's the inner alchemy that's happening. But in the outer picture, God's using me to make these people, to serve karma to these evil people. And I'm tired, I'm tired, and I still believe and I trust in the divine reasoning for all of these events, that God needed me to know. And number one, that I am protected and that no weapon formed against me shall ever prosper. And that they can do anything they want to try to destroy me and to break me and to stomp out my light. But God is holding me together. Number 2, that evil is real. And that they target God's people, especially the awakened ones. It was all out war for my soul after I awakened. And through all of these traumatic events that have happened in a short amount of time, the knives in the back, the betrayal, the heartbreak, the loneliness, the isolation, the feeling like the devil's got me surrounded no matter what, because I realized that everything that I was trying to do or manifest, the devil had already laid the traps all around me, the fake friends, the enemies, everything to destroy me. And I realized so much about myself through this process. I also realized that I am so not alone in this universe, that I've got angels and ancestors and guides with me, witnessing and experiencing the things that I've gone through with me, that I haven't been alone, that God and everyone, the whole universe, saw what they did to me. They saw how evil it was and how relentless the dark forces were to destroy me. It's funny is like even after they did everything they could to ruin my life, they didn't stop. Even after I was out of there, they were still trying to smear my name and plot against me in so many ways. I know that I'm spiritually protected and I'm not going to feed any of that, and I won't ever be roped into a energy trap with a narcissist who has shown their true colors. I cut cords and I move on because I don't align myself with vampires. The residual effects of that trauma, it has been harder for me to trust soul family on Twitter and on social media after being so abused by false light. But I give it all to God, and God is healing me and helping me to awaken even more because of the traumas and everything that I've gone through. And it has maybe slowed things down. I still don't have my land. I still don't have my garden. I still don't have my soul family community with me in the physical. And I'm doing everything I can to be patient and to trust in God's divine timing, because I believe that that is my destiny and that will happen for me, and that will probably come sooner than I even expect it at this point. But there is a reason that God had me go through these things, and it's because I'm so strong that I was able to endure these disgusting, heinous attacks in my life. And I know I'll be okay in the end. I believe that with all of my heart. And I think that the things that I went through, it was necessary for me to understand how malevolent these entities are, and how they target God's children to use and abuse and siphon from us. And a true alchemist will take all the darkness that they go through and transmute it into light. Part of me doing that is by sharing my story, turning my pain into power, my struggles into strength, and helping others by talking about it. Is that I'm not keeping my wounds under wraps. I am not the only one who has been targeted by the devil. And though they may think that we're crazy for saying that, it is a fact. And that evil is a multi-dimensional being. It can travel from host to host to attack God's children, sacred souls of the light. And ultimately, my best revenge and payback is to continue on my mission of light and for freedom, and to speak my truth and tell my story and help protect God's children and God's people from these entities. Because I have experienced the full force and full wrath of the devil, I have awakened to its games. I am not one who can easily be manipulated by mind control tactics. And I have learned to trust my gut instincts and listen to my spirit guides. And when they give me warnings about people, that I must listen right away and not wait for them to attack. And that is another way that God has helped me to alchemize the traumas that I've experienced. I believe and I know that I am meant to create safe environments for chosen ones to vibrate high and to work our missions of light together and to unify, where we're not being attacked by entities and siphoned on. So I need to have some land of my own and to be in high vibration with God and with Mother Earth, and to create a mission where I can help empower other chosen ones and light workers, light warriors to have their missions for New Earth. And through my experience and my struggles, I have gained wisdom. I will be able to protect my communities, and I'll use my psychic gifts to do so. Because I'm not alone. I have entire armies of angels with me to guide me on this path. And that's how we alchemize our pain into power and change the world through it. And I understand that everything that I've gone through, no matter how hard it was necessary for me to remember how powerful I am and how loved I am by unseen forces in the universe. And that karma is unfolding. I am rising with God every day. And I don't think the enemy is too happy right now. I sure wouldn't be if I were them. I know that my God has got my back without question. And I understand that the reason that the devil fought so hard to destroy me is because of the light that I have within me. And I am recoding the ugly slave matrix into the divine. I am the light. I am bringing heaven to earth by maintaining a high vibrational frequency with God. And there's nothing the devil can do to sever my connection with the Most High. So I feel pretty good. I feel powerful. I feel strong. I feel amazing, in fact. That though I am not on my land and I haven't found a home yet, and I'm still and homeless right now, I know that God's gonna work it out for me. And I'm not worried about anything. And I'll never be worried about anything ever again. I'm not worried about I know the miracles that God can do. And I've seen it. I've felt it. I've been part of it. I am witness to something that not everyone gets to be witness to. And I would not have this if I didn't give my life to God. I have a strength within me that makes me unbreakable. I'm going to change the world. And that's exactly why the devil tried to take me out. But it backfired and made me remember how powerful I am. So, in the end, goodness prevails. Goodness triumphs over evil. Karma is real. And God is love. So if you're going through struggle in your life, just know that you will come through it a much stronger person, and that God is with you every step on the way. You're not alone, and you are loved. So I just want to change the world. I want to help as many as I can, and I want to keep going forward. So I suffered, but I did so that others won't have to. And the children of the future of New Earth will not have to go through the suffering that we've endured. We deserve better. And now we understand the energies in this world, and we understand how the darkness goes against the light, and we know how to protect ourselves. And it is through God that we do so. And that is the only way. It's within us all. Everything's going to return to light, and we'll be one. The new paradigm is within us. It's in our hearts. It's love. And we're free. We're truly, truly free. Living miracles. Okay, guys. I'm glad I shared that story. I've got more stories and so much more to share. And I'm gonna continue to keep going and opening up. I realize that God wants me to come out of my cocoon and be the butterfly that I am. So it'll change the world and make a difference. So help me in my mission, help me in my life. You comment, send love, prayers, donations in the description. Follow me on my other platforms. I'm doing my best to keep up with social media and get as much out there. I also started a GoFundMe to raise money for New Earth sanctuaries. And I have a Patreon now, and I've been posting some stuff on that as well. So don't forget to visit the links and check out my link tree and support my divine mission. Because my soul's awakened. I'm with God, and I am here, and I'm ready to do things. I'm ready to make miracles and move mountains. God is blessing me on this journey, so better times are ahead for all of us. I haven't lost faith through everything, and in fact, I'm only getting stronger. So it's amazing. Anyways, I love you guys. God bless you. Thank you for everything, and I'll be with you again soon. Okay, bye.